Welcome to the Firo Pizza Sports Studio. I'm your host, Brock Baldridge. We have a massive sports weekend coming up. Oklahoma State men's and women's basketball are in Kansas City, ready to play in the Big 12 tournament. Cowboy baseball tries to stay undefeated and will have their biggest test of their season going up against one of the top teams in college baseball this weekend at Baldridge. All that and more coming up next on the Sports Report. Oklahoma State men's basketball arrived in Kansas City, Missouri, where they will be in action for the Big 12 men's basketball tournament. The Cowboys go into the tournament as the 5th seed and will rematch with the 4th seed, the West Virginia Mountaineers, who they beat last Saturday. Tip-off is at Thursday morning at 10:30 a.m. Star players Cade Cunningham and Isaac Likely did not play in the regular season finale against West Virginia last Saturday, but are both expected to be ready to go for tomorrow's game. Oklahoma State has not won the Big 12 tournament since 2005, the same year legendary head coach Eddie Sutton led the Cowboys to the Final Four. Let's take a look at the bracket of the Big 12 men's basketball tournament. Tonight, the tournament will kick off with TCU and Kansas State at 5:30 p.m. Then Oklahoma and Iowa State will start at 8:30 p.m. Oklahoma State gets the early slot with West Virginia starting at 10:30 a.m. Thursday morning. Winner of that one gets the privilege to potentially play the number one overall seeded Baylor Bears, but maybe not. Who knows? It's March Madness. Kansas will play the nightcap against the highest remaining seed from the first round. Then Texas and Texas Tech will get the start right after that one. The semifinals are scheduled to be the next night, and the winner of those games will play in the championship game this Saturday at 5 p.m., and the winner will receive an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Oklahoma State women's basketball will also be in action in Kansas City, just down the road at Municipal Auditorium. The Cowgirls come into the tournament as the 3 seed and will have a bedlam battle for the first game as they take on in-state rival Oklahoma. That game won't tip off until late Friday night at 8:30 p.m. in Kansas City. The Cowgirls are looking to win the Big 12 women's tournament for the first time in program history. Moving on to Oklahoma State baseball, as they improve their undefeated record against Oral Roberts yesterday in Tulsa. The Cowboys beat Oral Roberts last night by a score of 5-0. Starting pitcher Justin Campbell led the way with 7 innings pitched and 14 strikeouts for his second win of the season. The Cowboys improved their record to 10-0-1 this season. This is the best start under head coach Josh Holliday, but this weekend will be their biggest test yet. The Cowboys will host the number 2 ranked team in the country on Friday against the Vanderbilt Commodores for a 3-game series this weekend at Baldridge Stadium. However, there's a lot of rain in the forecast, so hopefully those games will be played. Cowgirls softball was scheduled to play in North Texas later this evening, but the game was postponed and has now been rescheduled. The Cowgirls will now play North Texas on Wednesday, March 24th at 6 p.m. in Stillwater. The Cowgirls' next game will be this Friday, where they will begin the Hall of Fame Classic tournament. The Cowgirls will host a doubleheader against the Liberty Flames Friday afternoon starting at 2:30 p.m. right here in Stillwater. The NFL offseason is just starting to get really wild. We are only 1 week away from the start of NFL free agency. Yesterday afternoon was the deadline for all NFL teams to apply for the franchise tag on one of their pending free agents. Only 10 of the 32 teams use the franchise tag. Those players are Taylor Monton, Allen Robinson, Justin Simmons, Cam Robinson, Marcus Williams, Leonard Williams, Marcus May, Chris Godwin, Brandon Sheriff, and Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott, who signed a new deal the other day, but the Cowboys still tagged him for salary cap reasons, and so Dak Prescott can never be franchise tagged again by the Dallas Cowboys when his contract is up. Not only was it a big day for teams to franchise tag players, many players have been cut by their teams due to the NFL losses of revenue from the COVID-19 pandemic. The NFL is lowering the salary cap, which is causing so many teams to release their star players. Some notable players released in the last few days include former Oklahoma State kicker Dan Bailey, Carlos Dunlap, LaMarcus Joyner, and Malcolm Butler. You might remember Butler from making that goal line interception at the end of Super Bowl 49 to secure a Super Bowl win for the New England Patriots. On a final note, Oklahoma State women's golf wrapped up the tournament in the Saguaro Desert in Tucson, Arizona. The Cowgirls finished 4 under par to secure second place in the tournament. Texas ran the table of the tournament with a massive victory of 28 under par. Oklahoma State's Isabella Firo had her 9th top 10 finish of her career with just 3 under par. That's all the time we had today for the Sports Report. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at the same time for the Sports Report.
The Sports Report is brought to you by Firo's Fire Kissed Pizza.